So the first practical part is done by Kranthi They Kandula. And so we start showing the XNAT imaging platform.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's begin how we work on XNAT and how the user interface and how you can process the data, like what all I explained in the theory part. We will see how to reach our XNAT instance. So if you switch on, okay, okay, camera is on. Okay, if you search like UBI XNAT on Google, let's say, you find the first link, unito it. So this is the XNAT instance that we hosted on HPC for AI. The URL I'll provide in the chat later. So this is how, as a guest, this is you can see that it is logged in as a guest, and this is how it looks when you have an XNAT installed on the cloud or like on your local host as well. Then you have the home screen, which provides you the search functionality. You can use the ID, title, description, and the keywords that you have given during the creation of the project. As a guest, since we are in a guest account, if you open any project, like you can see the ID, description, or other metadata that you have provided um, while you are uploading the project, and you can see all the subjects that we have. And if you open any subject, you can see the experiments, and you can see the list of scans that you did. But being a guest, you don't have an option to view any more information other than this. So let's log in and see how it looks for a registered user. If you want to register on our XNAT instance, you can contact us. I can you can register on this instance and send us a mail because we don't want people to we don't want some random person checking our information. So send us a mail and we will discuss and we'll let you in. So once you log in, and this is my personal login ID, and there are like projects that I have created and which are shared with me or being an owner of these three different projects. So let me explain like how you create a new project, and I'll show you by creating a project, and I'll show you how to upload the images, how to view, on how to use the plugins that we have installed like OHF viewer to see how the images are shown on OHF viewer, and also how we can annotate the images. So let's get started with creating a new project. These are the information, like the project new project information and metadata that you can provide. I can just go with um, default programmer type of creating a project like title 4. I think title project ID 4. You can give any project description. And you can give keywords like mice, cancer, tumors, etc., etc. You can add investigators. You can have options like primary investigators, which are already saved, which are already created, or you can create an investigator while creating a new project. You can give all the information that is requested to create an investigator, and you can create an investigator while you're creating a project as well. So the second step, after giving all the metadata information, we have accessibility that I explained in the theory part. One, if you are not sure, like to make it public and people to look at your data, you can keep it private. Only your study members will be like it's all self-explanatory. When you select, it will give you what kind of accessibility you have. For example, in the private, you have only you, the owner of the project, and study members will be able to access the study data. And protected says all the users will be able to see your data, title, description, all the metadata that you have mentioned, but only collaborators you approve will be able to analyze and download the data, which is very important. Like you don't want everyone to download the your project data. And public, once you make it public, all the users will be able to access the study data for analysis and download. So on top of that, you can create a set of um, groups who can access data. I'll show you how you can do it. For now, I'll keep it as a public. Uh, I can create the project like this. Once you have created a project, you can see all the data that we just entered. And going to the access tab, you can see that I'm the owner of the group. Under the group, you can see I'm the owner of the project. I can add any new user using this add and invite user. I can select the group, which group they belong to. I can add my colleagues who are working on my project as members, and I can invite some collaborators from outside. And also I have a list of people who have already registered on this XNAT instance. I can add them directly from this add users from the list option. Then we have manage groups. We can create a custom group, as I mentioned just before. You have like all the options that you can give to the particular group. Going back to the managing features, you have all this features list. You can check the features that you want to provide to the particular group that you have. For example, I have list of projects and I have groups that are linked, and I can select the options like how I want to manage the features. Uh, this is about how to create a project, how you set the accessibility, and who can see your project, right? So let's go ahead and add some um, data into this. So we have upload options, as I explained. If you look, this is the all the upload options we have. Plus we have a XNAT pick that Francesco explained. I go from web browser. I can upload as a zip folder for now. I select my project that I just created, which is running title 4. As I explained, I have two different options: pre-archive with a flag to check how the data is organized, and archive. Once you know that everything is well organized, you can just go ahead with archive. But I'll explain you how it looks when you click on pre-archive. So I'm selecting a subject that we have in my personal folder, like so. This is the scans like of one subject that I have, which I zip. So I can just upload this project and set it to pre-archive. If I click on begin to upload, it will show the process, and it's really quick to upload. You can see the steps, the extraction of review of archival. So after you visit the pre-archive to review the data, this is how you view all the details of your project, session, subject, and all the scans that you have in the folder that you have uploaded. So I can archive the data, which is like saving into my project. So since it's archived, I think, yeah, yes, I can just go back to the home page, and I can go to the project title 4 that I just created. This is a subject that is added, and if you see, it's an MR session. So if I click on my MR session, you have a list of scans that that we did on this particular subject. Since you are the owner of this project and you have access to view, let's see how the images are shown using OHIF viewer plugin that we have installed. So when I click on view images on once I go inside like the project, the subject, and then inside the MR session, I have the scans. I can view the images from here as well. So this is the OHIF viewer that shows the images. As I was explaining in the theory part, we have a lot of options on OHIF viewer, which are very similar to other medical image viewers. So if you go through the images that we have here, I'll show you an example of how the slices are shown. You can see that number of slices are 16, and you can clearly increase the levels and observe like how the images are shown, and you can go through the each slice by scrolling the I'm just scrolling my mouse. You can go through all the images, and if you want to see multiple images, you have a layout option here. You can see multiple images like this. So this is how you use it's like self-explanatory. You can just go through all this zoom level, panning the images, and you can just reset back to the normal. Since I selected this first part, I'm working on this particular image. So I'll just go back to the single layout, and we will talk more about like the different types of views. Like this is a 3D, where you have where you can navigate through each slice of image in all possible ways. So if you observe, like we have three different views, three different types of views, like bottom, top, like right, and then this. Talking more about the data, metadata information, and the tags that we have. There is a tag viewer also. There is a, you can view all these tags from XNAT itself, not OHIF viewer, but you can see all the DICOM tags. Like you can browse all the tags from here. Okay, like I am just a second. Okay, yeah. So I can just close the tag browser, and then the most important part here is to make some masks and take some measurements, right? Like when you have the images and you can see the images, and if you see some tumor, or if you want to measure, you have to make, if you want to make some mask or contours, you can start drawing. For example, I wanna draw a contour around this part of the image like this. And then if I'm not sure that it is well, you can just sculpt it using, like slowly you can sculpt it, and you can select like how you can clearly and very easily select the part that you're masking. Like you can create the mask. You have a lot of options here as well, and you can take the measurements. Let's say if you want to see the length of length of a tumor or length of a tissue, then all the measurements that you can do here, annotation like angle, you can do it bidirectional, eclipse, and also rectangle. After you do all these things, you can browse them in the part here. For example, let's say I have a contour ROI, and I can visualize like this, and even I can just say like if it is wrong, and I can just delete like this. let's say we can find the length of tumor like this, and you get an option to name it, write some description about it, add a category, what type of what the measurement is about, and then what type is it is about, like tissue, artery, like body fat. Like you have list of all the possible measurements that you can do on clinical or preclinical studies. So you can just save it like this, and uh, you can see in the we have three different options that you are doing, like contour, mask, and measurements. So if you go to the measurements, you have the list of measurements that you have saved, and you can import, as I was explaining, you can import the annotations, you can export the annotations, and you can share it with users or collaborators. And yeah, this is all about how you can use and browse through your images, how you annotate, how you save the annotations, and how you can share, like export these annotations. So let's go back to XNAT, XNAT and XNAT instance that we have, and talk about like how we uh, share the project, right? Like once you have created, you have add all the invite the users, and once you have done all your work and you wanna share, like you can either add them in this, or you can download the images. Like talking about how you download and save it in your local, you can this is the steps of downloading the data that is available. For example, in the project ID4, we have just one session. You can see the subject here, and you have all the scan types, and you have multiple download options. One is from desktop client. You can also zip download it, or you can just download an XML as an XML file. You can just click all the include the project in the file path, subject in the file path. And for example, right now I can just do a zip download to see how I can download the data. It gives you how much space this particular subject with all the scans included. So I just download the zip, and I have in my private, in my personal computer. So this is about like how you create a project, add the data, how you browse and annotate, and if you want to download the data from XNAT, like this is the like step-by-step instructions, let's say, how you can use the XNAT. And yeah, if you want to know more about like how you can administer the whole XNAT, we can have like if someone is interested, we can have a different meeting or like a webinar again to explain more about how an administrator works. This is just for the user, from the user perspective. Administrator have a lot of other features that you can do other than just creating a project or viewing and sharing them. So yeah, thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, um, I'll be ready to answer.
Okay, so thanks, Kranthi. Yeah, I have just to highlight, I mean, one important, or to stress one important point from my perspective is that once you have a platform where you can, let's say, store and upload your images, the main advantage is that in that way you don't need really to, let's say, download the images and share them. You want to allow other people to work, but you can simply add other people as a collaborator, let's say. And then in that way, they will be able to really look to the images. And if you have people that, let's say, need to perform some annotation, some region of interest drawing and so on, so they can easily do it. And then you can have a look to the final results directly on the images that are stored in the XNAT platform. I think this is one of the main advantages, in particular when you have multiple people working on the same project. So people that perform the acquisition, people that perform the processing, other that do some other, let's say, stuff on the images. So in that way, you can simply invite all these persons in the project in order to, let's say, have a collaborative work on the images as well. And so I think this is one of the big advantages in using I mean, XNAT or the other imaging platform as well, of course.
Yeah, thank you for summarizing that.
Okay.
If you have any other questions, maybe.
There's one question in the chat asking if the user, I guess, user change the group of a subject or if it's possible only.
No, if you're owner of the project, you can set all the, for example, if you see here, if I'm the owner of the project, you can have all the accessibility, like you can change any information, you can add, you can give any type of accessibility for the groups that you want to add. You can the user change the group of the subject, or it is only possible as an admin? No, user, as like if you're the owner of the project, yes. If you, as I mentioned, like all these accessibilities that we are talking about, like all or the members that we are talking about, like owners, members, and collaborators, they have their own set of accessibility. So you can just give the accessibility, like you can just remove some accessibilities and it's like good to go. Like you don't need to be an administrator have a lot of other features that you have to handle, like controlling the users, or you know, adding the plugins. Let's say here you have the tools. Being a logged in user, you can select tools and go through the plugins that I have mentioned also before in the theory part. And if you really think that some of the plugins are useful for you, like you can request your administrator to add the plugin. So it is more about a technical part for administrator, not to give accessibility for your data.
Okay, thanks, Kranthi. There is also one more question I can briefly reply regarding multimodal imaging. If one can also save a transformation matrix, like from FSS, PM, or PMOD, to overlay two type of data. So essentially, it's not store, let's say, DICOM data, and those are then usable in order to view to them, to the OIF viewer, or in order to process them. You can also store additional files. So for sure, you can save a transformation matrix coming from other software, let's say, and associate it to specific scanner, to specific image. Anyway, at least you will not be able to exploit this transformation matrix into the OIF viewer. Okay, but for sure you can exploit this transformation matrix when it's saved into the XNAT platform, meaning that you can then read it and then, let's say, apply to the DICOM images that are stored into the data. So this means for the processing step. And one question from the audience, Daniele Panetta. So yeah, if you can read it.
Yeah, I can read it. Any hint or warning if you are planning to migrate an entire old project from an old repository to XNAT? Is there some limitation on large uploading of data beside the disk space constraints? Yeah, I don't think there will be a big problem if it is in DICOM format. And about the large file uploads, we have some limitations on a desktop client, but to overcome that, like as Francesco, my colleague, explained you about like bulk uploads, you can use you can very well try XNAT Pake download install and give the local host or the URL that you have for your XNAT instance. You can easily upload a large amount, like let's say 10 15 subjects and they have different experiments done and they have like, let's say 100 imaging sessions, yeah, you can very well upload. It's not a problem. Thank you, Daniele Panetta, for the question. I hope I answered your question.
So thanks, Kranthi. So we can move on.